everybody, welcome back. So I'm going to teach you how to spice in the greens if you don't know how to spice in greens. There are several ways and recipes to spice your greens. First, I want to let you know that I do have a lot of things going on as far as like what I'm cooking. But it's very important that when you're making Thanksgiving dinner that you prepare ahead of time. So I didn't walk you all through the preparation to get here, because the preparation is a lot. You really have to organize when you go to the shopping center. You have to look, up the recipes, make sure that you have everything you got. I mean, unless you already know, specifically what you need, or if you have experience with it or whatever. And so what you do when you go to the grocery store and you set up your grocery list, you just put like dairy, vegetables, canned goods, other, I always put other, grains, what else, meats, so that way you know that you're executing everything and you just go off your checklist, and it makes it a lot easier than just randomly going in there and going, oh my God, I don't know what to get. Do I get this? Do I get that? That way you're prepared ahead of time. So now I have everything that I need. Hopefully you saw the tutorial, the first tutorial, where you actually clean your greens out, because it's very important to clean your greens. I cannot stress that enough. Another thing that is very important, and I just actually walked back into the kitchen. I have the greens still going, but another thing that's very important is pulling back your hair. So because you don't want to get any hair in anybody's food, and there are people that, if you don't do that, they will not eat your food. They don't want no hairs in your food or nothing like that. So ladies, this is not the place to be all cutesy wootsy or whatever. You gotta get down to business. So you gotta put your hair up, especially if you have long hair or whatever. Make sure your hands are washed. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you how to just season the greens. Okay, so walk over here. Okay, so we got the greens on, as you see. Okay, so I gotta wash my hands. And for those who do not know how to multitask, multitasking is very important, especially when it comes to like a Thanksgiving dinner or something. Because like literally right now, I did not show you all this stuff, but you have to boil your potatoes. You got to peel them first. And this is the potatoes, not the sweet potatoes, but the potatoes, like if you're making mashed potatoes, homemade mashed potatoes. So what you do is you peel the potatoes. Okay, I'll show you that in another tutorial. And then you have it boiling. And then once you have it boiling, you actually put them in the sink, or put them in a pan or whatever, or a strainer to kind of strain out or whatever. I'll show you all that process. Also the sweet potatoes, it's like for now I already have the sweet potatoes boiled. But you want to boil your sweet potatoes. You want to keep the skin on them and boil them. Because if you try to peel them, you're not going to be able to, or if you do, you're going to have like a rough time. You'll probably be standing there for like 2 hours trying to peel your sweet potatoes. Don't do that. Just boil them beforehand. And I made that huge mistake when I was first starting out. But really, like, okay, these are the sweet potatoes, the sweet potato right there. But what I did is I boiled. So it really just makes it to where you can actually peel it off if you want to. I kind of cut it off, but you can actually peel the skin off. So it makes it real simple technique, real simple and easy to peel off or whatever. Okay, so I had the greens in here. I put the garlic in there. Okay, so now I want to go to the actual recipes and kind of add and pull from the different areas that I have. Okay, so what you can do is you can kind of do you can probably try to do a Google search. What I can do is I can leave a link. I'll try to leave a link below, and that way you know what to do. Hold on a second. Okay, here we go. We're going to go to Google. Greens is something I know how to do, but I love referring back to other ingredients and seeing what other people have in theirs. Like, for example, this slow cooking with just the garlic. Most people say, no, you throw all the seasonings in there, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's all good and well, but greens cook forever. So what I normally do is I'll simmer it in garlic and even onions if you want to do onions. My oldest son doesn't like onions. I'll probably throw a little bit of onions in there anyway. And then you want to kind of simmer it for like a half hour to an hour. So it's been about a half hour or so. So now I just want to put in the rest of the seasonings, and then you have it simmering the rest of the day. Anyway, so what you want to look up is Southern greens. Okay, Southern greens. And so you should find, like, there's just a different couple of recipes on here or whatever. I'll pull up, it's kicking collard greens recipe at the allrecipes.com. Sometimes they have really good ones. It looks like they have a really good one on here. And it says 1 tablespoon of olive oil. See, the olive oil is something I didn't know if I was going to put in there, and I think I will, though, after seeing this. And it says the 3 slices of bacon. You don't necessarily have to have bacon. You can also have this pork, and normally I do not eat pork. You can put beef in there. You can put anything. Normally I do not eat pork. But when it comes to Thanksgiving dinner, or when it comes to family reunions or something like that, I'm going to eat pork because it's a part of my heritage. It's a part of what I do, and I don't really condone eating pork. Pork is not really good for you, so I don't eat it like on a daily basis. I don't eat. It's been a long time since I had pork. Actually, probably, I'm trying to think. It would probably have been an event, which was a while ago, maybe a year ago or so. You know, I don't like to eat pork. Pork is not good for you. But anyway, but in soul food, it's very important because it's so good and brings out the flavors. So, or you could put turkey bacon in there too, or bacon, you know, what have you. People have their different techniques. So this is actually what I use. This is my seasoning for it. Basically, that's what it acts for. Is it acts as a seasoning. So I kind of put it in there. About maybe like 5 or 6 in there. You do it to taste, you know. Heck, we'll do half of it. Half of it. Well, you don't want it too salty though. And consider I'm gonna add a little salt. I don't want it too salty, so I'll just put a few pieces in there or whatever. Okay. So, like I said, to taste. Everything is to taste, especially when it comes to Southern type cooking. Again, not everybody is going to want to do this. You know, some people might want to put beef in there or what have you. Just pull up whatever recipe. Like I said, just go to google.com and look up Southern style greens. Or if you don't want Southern style, just look, you know, look up another one. Let's see. So, on here it says olive oil, bacon, and onions. Obviously, you're going to put your onions in there. Most of the time, you obviously put onions in there. Like I said, my son doesn't like them, but I'll probably put like a few of them in there, you know. I'm not going to go crazy with the onions. Some families love to put so many onions in there, like, so they love seasoning. They'll season with a whole onion, you know, in which I actually love seasoning food. So I probably would do that, but because my son doesn't like it, I'm going to do a half of an onion. So you just basically chop your onion up. If you have a cutting board, it actually is better to use a cutting board, because if you don't, you'll mess up your countertops. Let's see, I should have a cutting board in here. So you pull out a cutting board and go ahead and chop up your onion. You see what I'm doing? Just cut like this part off. This part off. You want to take this off. This part. Now, onions always make you cry. Well, make some people cry. Make some people don't cry. Used to not make me cry, but now I guess I got a little sensitive. You throw this peeling away, garbage. You want to cut this part in half, this onion in half. After you cut the onion in half, you can kind of dice it up. There's different ways of dicing it up also. You know, I kind of just slice like that. I'm going to take it and I just kind of dice it up. Sometimes you can also get a chopper. Actually, I think I have a chopper, but I'm not going to use it. I don't know why. I prefer to just kind of cut on a cutting board. So choppers are really good though. You can get those at Walmart. Let's see, I'll show you what mine looks like. No. New. Okay, wait, here it is, right here. Okay. Okay. So this is your chopper. This is a chopper, basically. With the chopper, all you're doing basically is you're gonna put this on like that, and then you're just basically just gonna chop it. That's all you're gonna do. I'll do it just so that you all see even basically what it is. Sorry. So it finally chops the onion up. So it does a better job than I do, you know, but I just actually like cutting it. I don't know why I just do. So you just kind of put your onions in there. Like I said, do it to taste. Okay, now I have two different, well, I guess I got two different secrets that I'm going to be using. And one is for the greens. The other one is for the pumpkin pie because nobody knows the secret about the pumpkin pie. So I'm going to leave the video up just this Christmas, but I will be taking it down. And this secret actually came from a good friend of mine. Her name is Pamela Spencer. Hi, Pam, if you're watching. It came from her family, and her family, a little bit of history about her family. She actually has her father has a church, or her father had. He's passed now. So it's her brother's, her family's church, and it's in Avondale, Ohio, Cincinnati and Avondale. So anyway, it's I believe a Baptist church. So, but anyway, what basically they told me to add when I, like years ago, I was like, I don't know, what should I do? What do you put in your greens, you know? But they told me to actually make this, put this in it, which is marmalade, and which really sounded weird to me, but she said it's really awesome, really good, and it's the truth. It is so good. So we're gonna put maybe like a tablespoon to taste. Again, you don't want to just, you know, measure it out. You can if you want to. If you want to be specific, that's fine. If you're a person that likes to be confined and specific, that's okay too. You can measure it out. I'll probably put 2 in there. But I'm not specific. I just kind of do it to taste and flavoring. And so another thing that's very important to do too while you're in the kitchen, it's extremely important for you to clean your mess up. And I tell my boys this all the time. Of course, they never listen to me. But anyway, you want to put everything that you use back. So I've already used the onions. I've already used the marmalade. So I want to put that back because that way I don't get confused later on when I'm making something else. And I have all my ingredients separated and everything out here and laid out. So I don't want to get confused. I'm going to put my onion up. I'm going to put my chopper. I'm going to put that in the sink. What have you. Okay. Okay. So that's very important to do, is to clean your mess and keep everything clean. I can't stress that enough. Try to keep everything, all of everything clean, you know, and what you're actually doing. Keep it all clean. So now we're going to go off to, okay, it said in the ingredients, let's see. goodness. Let me see. Okay. My ingredients wanted to kind of hide from me. Just trying to kind of pull it up. Here, we'll have to go up here and grab it. Safari. I don't know what happened to them. But like I said, I like to refer to these things. You don't necessarily have to. You can kind of do it to taste. Okay. Again, Safari. Okay. All right, here it is right here. Okay. That's my dog, by the way. She's in the back. Okay, so I've already put the onion in there. I've already put the garlic clove. Garlic clove is not on this, but chicken broth is. And like I said, I pull from different ingredients. I like to pull different Southern style ingredients up and stuff. And so this says 1 teaspoon of pepper. We love pepper, so we don't just put 1 teaspoon of, of pepper in there. So like I said, add to taste. Again, probably be about a teaspoon. We are a pepper family. So again, made with love, and each person is different. Okay. Then you want to put, then it says 1 teaspoon of pepper. I already did that. I already did the chicken broth. And if you want to know also, this says 3 cups of chicken broth. Again, I use as much as I want to. If you want to stick to an ingredients, I suggest you just pull something up and do it. Like I said, I add a little bit from a whole lot of different places. So, yeah. And then the olive oil. So we need to put the olive oil. And on here it says 1 tablespoon. Now the olive oil, I might stick with the actual 1 tablespoon. Because you don't want too much oil in there, So there are some things you can kind of, keep adding, depending on taste or whatever. But things like this, no, you kind of want to try to stick to it if it's oil or something like that. Okay. So. Go. Okay. So now what I'm just kind of doing is I'm going into another place where they have a recipe of greens. Now, not everybody does this. I do this because I like to see what everybody else is putting in it. Because I pretty much just put the gist of it. Now, I do put a bay leaf in there as well. Bay leaf. You can get them in your spice section at like Walmart or Target or whatever. Let's see. So you want to put 1 bay leaf in there, just 1 bay leaf, and what it does is it adds to the flavoring. And so obviously I'm going to put that up because I'm already done with it. And so I'll put my spices up. My olive oil needs to go up as well. I'm done with that. Okay, and then you kind of want to add, let's see what these say. I'm going to add some hot sauce, but I want to see what these other ones say. Okay. House seasoning. I haven't heard of that. That sounds pretty good. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to make it too salty or nothing. But house seasoning sounds good. Hot red pepper. I already put a pepper in there. Green pepper. I showed you that part. So I put that in there. Yeah, you do want to put like a tablespoon of butter. Definitely. And the seasoned salt. Definitely. So normally, most people put Lawry's seasoned salt in there, and again, do it to taste, but you don't want to put too much in there because you don't want it too salty. So just put a little bit in there to begin with, and then kind of gradually add. So, and this is something people can even add like when when greens are done. You know, they can add the seasoned salt, and they can add just different things, whatever. You know, sometimes like when you're finished with it and you're putting it on the plate or the bowl, you can put on the side, you can put like this large seasoning salt and maybe like one of these or something, or like a little seasoning container or whatever, and then also put like onions on there, diced onions, tomatoes, you know, so people can add whatever they want to add. So, because people's tastes are, you know, different. So, and then also I always use red hot sauce when I'm actually working with baking, and when I'm cooking for a holiday. I really try to stick with the name brands, unless it's something like, for example, that like chicken broth or something like that. You know, chicken broth is going to taste the same no matter what, but hot sauce, for some reason, it just tastes different. Each brand, I think, anyway. You might be different. You might not think that way, but I do. So I'm going to put, I'm going to add it to taste. I'm going to put a little bit in there for now. And then, you know, if I need more, then that's fine. That's another thing you want on your table. You know, you don't really want to put too much of it in here. Okay. So let's put the butter in there as well. You know, it's so funny. I'm putting this up because I know there's a lot of experienced people that this video is not for you, and you know what to do. You're probably over there like, oh, she needs to measure this and she needs to measure that. This is really for the person who does not know what the heck to do, because there was a point in time where I did not know what in the heck. How do you make greens? How do you do this? You know, and today it was so funny. I bumped into this guy comes up to me. He's like, "You're cooking tonight, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm cooking." And he's like, "Well, can you tell me something?" And he's asking me just different little tips, and so funny. And then my friend Jay, hi Jay, he posted up on Facebook like, "What do you do with your turkey?" So I'll show you all how to make the turkey as well and everything I'm making. So just pay attention. It's like I said, this is your basic recipe, and you don't really. You know, if you're a professional or something like that, then definitely I'm not no master or nothing like that. But I do know how to cook and how to cook Thanksgiving for my family because my mom actually taught me. So, and people always ask me. So, all right. And so we put that in. Okay, so the salt, you don't want to put too much salt in. You do want to put, I could put the garlic clove in. Some people like to just put the garlic powder. That's fine too. Salt, and this is garlic powder right here. You know, you get it in your season aisle instead of the garlic. Like if you have a hard time finding the garlic in that vegetable aisle, which all you have to do really is ask an attendant. They'll tell you where it specifically is. But my dog loves to bark at everything. Why is it that dogs like to bark at everything? Okay, let's see. So the sea salt, which I do have. Okay, I think this is it. Okay, okay, here it is. Okay, so I put sea salt in my greens because sea salt actually pops the flavor out a little bit more. You put salt, you can put regular. If you don't have sea salt, that's okay. But you don't put a lot, just a little bit, because what's going to happen is your like your pork, especially if you're cooking with pork, you're already going to have, it's pretty much going to already be salted, so you don't want to put too much. So, okay, so that's what I put in there. All right, and then I just let it, I'm trying to think, I'm wondering if I might put a little honey and stuff in it, and a little syrup, and because sometimes people put a little pinch of honey and stuff in there. You know, I don't know. I'm gonna taste it a little later, but let's just let it simmer. So you let it simmer for a long time, actually. You know, you really want your flavoring to kind of kick in, and again, everything is to taste. So most of the time, you want to cook your greens maybe I want to say 3 hours at the least. If you want yours a little longer, I can understand, because, you know, so it really depends on what your taste is. But I would say at least cook them for 3 hours. And so that's why most people wake up like at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. to cook on Thanksgiving dinner, because their turkey and their greens are just, they take forever. Everything takes forever. So speaking of which, I do have my turkey in the oven. I want to show you all a little bit of the turkey. So let me go ahead and end this one. So hopefully this helped you. If you don't know how to make greens, hopefully this helped you. Just leave comments below too. I would love to hear tips also on how other people do theirs, you know, because I'm always, you know, watching other people and how they do different little additives and this, that, and the other. And I'll always implement them in the things that I do or cook, you know, because it's always good to know what other people are having there, or what other things there are to taste. So anyway, thank you for listening, and I'll see you at the one where I'm actually making the turkey. Have a good day. Bye.